And we're recording. Hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you guys so much again for everyone who joined us live. Kim and I just love when everyone joins us because we have done this before where it's just the two of us, and that's fun too. But it's so fun, and we love so much that you guys have made it a priority to be on this call with us, to take time out of your busy lives to be with us. We have our special co-host Carter tonight, who's sitting on Kim's lap. He's going to talk to us about time management. But to kind of give you guys a little intro into why we decided tonight to kind of talk about the power hour, to talk about time management, even though it seems like this is something that we've talked about before, is because Kim and I both feel like we've heard some feedback from some of our coaches where it feels like we're so busy, we're doing so much, it feels like we're working Beachbody all the time, but then our business isn't growing. And so it starts to feel like, how can I find some balance in my life? Because right now I feel like I'm always on my phone, or I'm always trying to build a business. I'm always overwhelmed by how much I have to learn, but then I'm not really seeing the momentum start building in our business. And when Kim and I were talking about it, we thought, you know what? Maybe it's that some of our coaches, and we even have to check ourselves on this too, aren't using our time effectively, because our time is really important and we are all really busy and we all have so much going on. And so we have to use the time that we dedicate to Beachbody very intentionally so that we can build our business, start building momentum in our business, and so that we can really see the effects of our time and effort without having this take over our lives. Because our dream isn't to like have this be our life, right? Like we love Beachbody and we love the mission and we love what it's doing for our lives, but our goal is to have this allow us to live the life we want to live, which isn't always on our phone doing Beachbody. And so tonight we're going to kind of talk about, Kim's going to walk you through just what she does in her power hour. And then I'm going to follow up and share with you, our power hours are very similar. So I thought what I would do is share with you some of the things that I'm learning in the book that I'm reading right now called Eat That Frog, which has been really helpful. And it's all about time management. And so she's going to talk to you specifically task by task what you should do in your power hour, because we know that we have a lot of new coaches on this call with us and new coaches who are going to watch the recording. And kind of always the basics are really what's going to help us build our business and help us move forward. And then there's a lot of fluff and fancy stuff that we can add on top. But if our business isn't growing, we should really get back to the basics. And then I'm going to follow up with some of the time management tips that I've been learning through some of my personal development, because that's something that I'm really trying to grow at and hone in on. And so I just want to share with you guys what I've been learning. So I'm going to pass it over to Kim, and then I will talk to you guys in just a second.
I'm not muted. Okay, great. Yay. Hi. Yay. Such an interesting topic to talk about right now, because I feel like I'm kind of in this drowning mode in my life. However, if it's one thing I feel like I know what to do. Okay, you gotta be quiet though. If you're gonna be my assistant, you gotta be quiet, okay, dude? If it's one thing I have learned through being through a move, a baby, in maintaining my business, is the consistency of making sure you're doing the power hour. There really can't that okay, we have to be quiet, otherwise you're gonna have to go downstairs, okay, babe? So if we're not doing the non-negotiables, we're going to miss, because what we do in this month sets us up for June. What we do in June sets us up, and it sets us up, and it sets us up. It's like a ripple effect. So that 1 month that you decide, like, I'm just going to not add 5 new friends. I'm just going to not say happy birthday to anybody for the entire month. Those little things that you're doing each day are going to be detrimental to your business. So really what I feel like I've learned is like and sometimes it's definitely a check the box, but I don't feel, I like my day's not done until I've done this every single day. And I think that you have to get it out of your head that like, this is something you are doing, every once in a while. This is something you're doing all the time. And maybe you're busy and you have a full-time job. So you're doing 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at lunchtime, and 20 minutes in the evening. Right now, for me, I have this baby that won't let me put him, he's not cooperating with my life, basically. So I'm doing it at nighttime, because it's just, otherwise I'm like I feel like I'm like selling him short and like, you're supposed to be sleeping so I can work. And it's not healthy. So I've said it, you have to learn what works for you, because at the end of the day, we just want to help people, right? And so it's exciting. I think the coolest part about Beachbody is that it's not that we want to do this business, we don't want to do our product. Obviously we want to make money. Maybe some of us want to leave our jobs and some of us want to buy a house or whatever. But at the end of the day, we just want to help people. So it's exciting. The Power Hour is exciting because you know that it's setting up the next step. So I'm going to tell you literally exactly what I do, and it's kind of dumb, and I've said it 49,000 times, but I'm going to say it again. And for those that are new, you're going to hear it from the beginning to the end. So number one, I work out every single day. I think I took 2 weeks off when I had a baby, where they cut the baby out of my body. I took 2 weeks off, and my lovely doctor told me I could start working out after 2 weeks. Thanks, doc. I thought I was supposed to get 8. So I didn't have an excuse. So literally I took 2 weeks. That's it. In 2 years today, I have worked out every single day. And so that's number one. That has to be, this has to be your personal health transformation. If it isn't, you're missing the opportunity for it to be. So number two, I always, when I get ready in the morning, I listen to personal development. And whether it's a book, I like podcasts. I like this guy named Robin Shalimar. He's rad. And I think
Oops.
so anyway, that's not my house.
It's mine. I'm so sorry.
Okay. So anyway, I listen to my personal development, and that's whether it's a national wake-up call, it's, there's a new diamond training I'm going through, whatever it is, I'm listening. That when I'm getting ready in the morning, that's probably 30 minutes of my day right out of the gate. I'm listening to personal development. So there's two things. Now I'm making my shake, and I'm always taking a picture of me and my shake. You never know when you need that picture with you and your shake. You can take a picture of just the shake. You can take a picture with you in the blender, the ingredients, you drinking, whatever. Take a picture with you and your shake. If you're not drinking your shake every day, missing the boat, okay? We're working out, we're listening to personal development, and we're drinking our shake. Maybe yours is a little different because you work out at nighttime and you drink your shake first. Whatever, you get the point. Then when I'm actually sitting down, so now, life happens and I'm actually sitting down to do my prayer, the first thing I always do is I go through, I set up a list in my Facebook called Prospective Clients. I go through, and anybody whose birthday it is, I'm either sending them a message or I'm posting on their Facebook page, but I'm adding them to a list. So if they are a prospective client, they are going in this list. And why that is, that's also coaches. I have a coach list. That's the only 2 lists I have. So that way, when I'm scrolling Facebook, the only list I scroll is that prospective client list. Because otherwise, I am so distracted by other Beachbody coaches. I'm distracted by our team. I'm distracted by whoever, you just get in this bubble, and truthfully, it becomes a big distraction and you waste a ton of time. So I know when I pick up my phone, and it's usually when I'm nursing, and I go to prospective clients and I just scroll that feed and I comment and I like stuff and I connect with people and I laugh at their jokes or whatever was happening in their world. That's who the people I'm connecting with. So then I want to add 5 new friends. So either Facebook's telling me who I should be friends with. I'm hitting up my husband's list. Maybe you're like me and you're 2 years and we're through that. I'm going through old yearbooks. Maybe you've already done that. You're figuring out what, maybe you're in a group, you're in a new moms group or a knitting group or a doggy play date group. So you're in these groups and you're making connections and you're adding those 5 friends. When you're adding those 5 friends, they're obviously going to fall into that prospective client list, because if you're adding them, they're probably people that you hope one day will join you. So we're adding 5 friends, at least 5 friends. That's when you want to, so now you're moving into like your inviting portion of it. I know I don't ever cold call. I don't ever cold message anyone. I have never done it. It's never felt right to me. I think because I've gotten so many cold messages from Rodin or, It Works or whoever, that it's just something I've never really done. So inviting might not look every day like, hey, join me, but inviting to me is connecting through Messenger. So I'm, like right now I'm talking to this girl who lived where I used to grow up, and we're just talking about this little whole town because she wants to do Beachbody, but she has no internet. So, but she goes into town where she can download 7 workouts. And so we're trying to like work it out, but this is our conversation, right? Carterton, you have to be quiet. Okay, bud? Nope. Away, please. Thank you. Come play with your trucks. Come on. We're going to take a time out if we're not listening. Sorry, you guys can all take a time out too. Anyway, so that's what inviting is to me. Now, let's say you have none of that kind of going on because you just don't have a lot of conversations going on. So what are you going to do? This is like if I'm in that dread where I'm like, gosh, I just haven't invited anybody. Well, I do a couple things. I use my fitness page a lot for new invitations. So anybody who likes my fitness page, they're going to get a message from me that says, thank you for following my fitness page. Here's kind of who I am. This is what I do. I offer, online challenge groups where I just kind of explain who I am and what it's all about. I'd show them my website. And then if I'm posting something, I put that link right in there. So like, if you're interested, I have this group coming up here, check it out. And I post it in there. I probably I probably get 5 new-ish likes a day on my fitness page. So I send those 5 times a day. So that's kind of how I grow my network. And that's how I also invite. Another way is a really simple thing is if people are liking your fitness posts, sending them a message and just thanking them. Like, hey, I so appreciate you, liking my fitness post. It's great to be encouraged in return. I hope that I encouraged you. Are you on a fitness journey too? Pretty simple. That's a great thing. That's a great way to start a conversation with people, and it's not cold messaging. You're just connecting and you're learning, and if they want to talk, great. If they don't, then they're not going to answer. But I would say 9 times out of 10, that's a great conversation starter and it might not lead into something fantastic. It might not lead into a sale, but it's still a conversation. And remember, now that you're talking to them in Messenger, they're going to show up. You're going to show up in their feed more. So we've invited, we've drank the shake, we've worked out, we've added friends, we've done our personal development. Now we're going to check into our challenge groups. And this is kind of where I spend probably the majority of my time. Right now I work backwards. So like tonight I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go through yesterday's group. And I subject just to yesterday because otherwise I get, pulled in different directions, but I am checking in with all of those people. So they're all getting liked on their shake pictures and their food pictures. And I'm commenting and we're engaging and I'm hearing, they cannot think that post has not been seen by me. That is like, I honestly in my brain feel like if they posted in that challenge group and no one comments, I've kind of let them down because they've asked me to show up for them every day. And so I'm going to show up for them every single day. And I'm going to make sure that I hear their hearts and see where they are. And that's just something I make sure I always do. I check into the tribe. I check into Your Best Rad Life team page. I check into all the different areas and I really make sure that I'm engaging in those because it's important because those are the people that have put their money into you as their coach, and it is essential that we show up for them. So I spend a lot of time in the challenge group. Each day I have a list of people I check in with. So I always hate telling people this because they're like, I'm on your list. And I'm like, you are, but it's a good thing. It means that I don't want to forget you. And I don't want us to get so busy that all of a sudden one day I'm like, darn, where's Cindy? I haven't talked to him forever. Like, because we're so busy, my life has to be a little bit structured. And so I have a list. It's a Monday through Friday list. And on that Monday through Friday list is literally everyone from my own mother to my HD Shakeology drinker. And they all go on that list. And then I spend any time I'm in the car, I am voice memoing these people. And I'm just checking in. I'm catching up. I'm hearing what's going on in their life. I feel like this has been the best because this is when I get to hear people and actually understand what's kind of going on in people's lives. But I never let a week go by where I'm not checking in with these people. It's just, and even if it's just like, hey, have an awesome week, you know, like make healthy choices, lift heavier weights, whatever, just like drink a lot of shakes, whatever, just something. I just want them to know that like, I value their continued business if they're my HT users, okay. And I just want them to know that I'm there for them. So, and that's kind of like recognition, right? So I would say that that's pretty much my power hour, right? Great. Did I forget anything?
No, that sounds great. That sounds great. And I think that I know that some of us have heard that before. I know that we go over a lot of that in our new coach training. I know that if you're listening to personal development and you're listening to other Beachbody coaches talk, you're going to hear a lot of those themes a lot. But what we want the heartbeat of our team to be is not about sales, it's not about success club points, it's not about the volume, but it's about what that all means. Like those are all metrics that like are showing how many people that we're helping. So when Kim's talking about how she reaches out to those people, what she's saying is that she's keeping her promise and her commitment to show up and to care about her customers. And so, you know, I wanted her to share a little bit about what she does in her power hour. And then I'm going to share a little bit about, again, some of the stuff that I've been learning in my personal development as I'm learning more about time management through reading the book Eat That Frog and other personal development that I've been trying to do. But I think something else that when I really started building my business, something that really clicked for me was this idea of really starting to treat your business like a business. And before that, I was treating it like a hobby. If I didn't feel like doing it, I wasn't going to do it. If I didn't feel like showing up, I wasn't going to show up. If I was tired, I would skip it. If I was sick, I would skip it. If I, whatever, it was kind of like any reason would come up and I would just feel like skipping. The Bachelorette premiere was on. I was going to skip it. And when I switched my mindset to, you know what, like I want this to work. When I switched it to, I'm going to treat it like a business, I'm going to show up, and I'm going to actually work like this is my paid job because my goal is to make this my paid job. And so I started working that way now or a year ago. And so where I am now is such a product of continuing to do that day after day. And so if you're kind of struggling with, okay, I know what to do when I sit down to work, but I'm having a hard time keeping it to an hour, or I'm having a hard time because I feel like I'm working all the time in Beachbody and nothing's really happening in my business. I think sometimes what we need to do is take a step back, and before we even sit down to start working, we need to actually focus. We need to understand that we have to eliminate all distractions while we were actually working, because if we only have an hour to sit down, if we only have half an hour to sit down, number one, we need to know when that time is going to be before we even start. Because in the same way that with our workouts, we know that like we talk a lot about schedule your workouts. A lot of times before you go to sleep, like at nighttime, you know the next day when are you going to work out. Do you also know when your power hour is going to be the next day? If not, get into the habit of scheduling it. And of course stuff comes up. But for the most part, I know when I'm going to get my work done the following day, and then you stick to it because you're a boss. Like you're not going to cancel on yourself, on your business. People are showing up for you and you need to show up for them. You know, and also I think it's really important to, when I'm talking about eliminating distractions, that means you might need to turn off the television. You might need to go into a comfortable, quiet space. You might need to have a very real conversation with your family members about your goals for this business and what you're trying to do. And then, but I think the key too is after you have that conversation with your family members about how important this is to you and that you need an hour a day to build this business, you need to actually go and actually work and build your business in that hour a day. And then you need to come back and spend time with your family. Because I know that sometimes it feels like our loved ones feel like you're always on the phone, you know, and then we can feel like we're starting to resent them for continuing to point out that we're taking 17 selfies and we're trying to build this business, but then it's not really growing. So we're trying to spend more time, but then we're still arguing with them more. And I think we need to have a very real conversation with them about what we're doing. And then we need to hold ourselves accountable to like actually getting it done. And this doesn't mean just working when we're motivated. This doesn't mean just working when it feels right or when our favorite television shows aren't on so we have time to work. This means we have to dedicate ourselves to building our business. And again, this is really just for people who want to build their business quickly and who really do want to start making a supplemental income doing this, or really do want to start helping people consistently, you're the type of person I'm talking to. Like, if your goal is to just check in every once in a while to help 1 or 2 people a month, that's completely different. But if you are someone who wants to build your business, you need to be very real with yourself about, are you actually focused when you're working, or are you just on your phone a lot, scrolling your news feed, or getting distracted, or not focusing on one thing at a time? I know a lot of us are multitaskers. A lot of us, our lives are moving 1,000 miles a minute. And so we're doing a lot of different things, and we pride ourselves on the ability to multitask. But one of the things that I've been learning in that Eat That Frog book is focus on one thing at a time. And I can't tell you how helpful this has been for me. And I'm starting to really realize how often I'll sit down to work on a challenge group template, but then a message pops up. So I start responding to that. And then someone else needs this, someone else needs that. And before I know it, I'm at the end of the hour and I'm not anywhere closer to finishing that template. So we need to sit down before we actually start working on our power hour, make a list, make a priority list, whether it's everything you want to get done for Beachbody this week, whether it's everything you want to get done today. For me, I kind of just scribble all the time. I have this list. Anything that comes to mind, I just write a to-do list for Beachbody. And then I narrow it down to what am I going to do today? And then I look at those tasks and I decide, what do I actually have to do today? And I prioritize them, because sometimes things are going to get bumped, because the reality is we're always going to have more to do. So we need to focus on the activities that are going to be the most valuable for building our business. And some of the stuff, like fixing your cover graphic on Facebook, might have to get pushed till tomorrow in favor of actually inviting more people, or messaging more people, or adding more friends on Facebook. Sometimes you have to choose what's more important to actually building your business. Another thing is I think sometimes we have to identify where we struggle, because sometimes it's really easy to focus on all the easier tasks for us. Like, maybe we're really strong in one area and not as strong in another. So we really focus on our key strengths, and that's great to continue building those. But where do you struggle? Is it really hard for you to invite? Is it really hard for you to get great results because you keep kind of doing, instead of the 80-20, like maybe you're skipping your workouts too much, or you're really struggling with your nutrition? What part of the 4 vital behaviors are you struggling with? And you need to be very real with yourself about it, and then figure out, what do you need to do to really perfect that, or to get better at that. We're running out of time, so I don't want to go over, but just a couple more things. And is this idea that once you figure out what area that you need to improve at, whether it's recognition, like, do you need to check in with your challengers more? Do you need to show up every day? Is it the results? Are you real proof that the product's working for you? Not that it just worked in the past, but are you continuing to improve? Are you inviting people? Are you doing your personal development? Whatever area you're struggling in, reach out to your coach, or to your success partner, or to your new coach text thread, and just share that, because we want to help you guys, hold you accountable to what area that you need to improve at, and we can help you with that. And it's going to change, because if we're not very focused on all 4 vital behaviors, sometimes it's easy to let one continue to slide. So just know that as we continue growing this business, it's going to take continual effort. But one thing that we always have to come back to is that we need to, one, schedule your power hour and don't skip it. Make a list of things that you need to get done during your power hour and stick to it. And then I think too, a lot of us want to grow teams. And so a lot of us, some of us have coaches on our team. Some of us have people, like, we want to have coaches on our team. And something that Kim and I decided when we really didn't have anyone on our team, in our team page, when we used to have less than remember, I think we started and it was like less than 15 people on our team page combined. We decided that we were just going to start acting like we had a huge team. Like, who are the coaches we want to be? Like, let's start acting like we are those coaches now. And I think for you guys too, like, don't wait until you have people on your team, or don't wait until you have people who want to build the business to start continue to show up to these team calls. This is amazing that you guys are here. Or to start doing your power hour, or to start really starting to invite people, or to start doing personal development, or start doing trainings to help you grow and learn. Because when those coaches sign up, they're going to follow your lead. And so we need to set the pace, and we need to set the expectations of, this is a team who prioritizes our power hour. We put the work in, we're driven, we're passionate, we're compassionate, we're genuine, and we're hardworking. And So we all have all the tools for you guys. We have a checklist in the file section. If you want to know what to do during your power hour, we have a checklist in the file section for that. If you want to talk to your coach to like help, and we can help you understand more details of what it looks like to be messaging people and what that looks like, just reach out for help, because we have so many resources for you guys. And again, I don't want to go too much longer because it's 6:30 now, but I will say thank you guys so much for joining us. And before we jump off, do you guys have any questions? Does anyone have anything that they'd like to ask about this or about anything else? No?
Oh, I have a question.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What's your question?
I might be able to figure it out on my own, but I've been looking and I can't figure it out. Kim, you said you made a list of like prospective clients, and that sounds great because I get so distracted Facebook surfing. So how do you make a list for that?
And quick.
I've heard. I don't know. Do you have that, Brittany? Do you know how to do it?
To make a list. So I haven't done this. I would Google it. That's what I would do to learn how.
Okay, I'm gonna just look it up because it sounds like a great plan. Because I want that dedicated group. Because that does happen where I feel like I need like that focus. And I love to eat that frog, but I still have. It makes me do my power hour more consistently, but I still need to be less distracted.
Yes, yeah. So I think that would be great. And I would just Google it because I bet there's like YouTube videos that literally show you how to do it. You know, that's my favorite.
What did you say? Sorry, I got disconnected.
Oh, she was asking me how to create the list that you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, it's super simple. If you just go to, there's on your left-hand side of Facebook, it says like lists, and you just create it. Or if you go to somebody's Facebook page and it says friends, you drop down and you say add to list, and you can create it right there. Super simple.
Hey, does anyone else have a question? That was a good one. No? Okay, all right, you guys. Thank you again so much for joining us. It's so fun when there's so many of us on the call. This is amazing.
Rick, do you want to, we'll let you unrecord and then we'll take
Oh, yeah, and then, okay. All right, bye, everyone who's watching the recording. Goodbye. Everyone else stay on for a second.